Wes Craven is a total legend. I'm not going to debate that. I love the Scream franchise, the Nightmare on Elm Street series, and of course, he's known for other classics like The Hills Have Eyes and Last House on the Left, even if I'm not a huge fan of those two. He seemed like such a likable guy, and his passing was such a huge loss to the horror community. And all that said, most directors have a few duds under their belt. John Carpenter has Ghost of Mars, Tobe Hooper has Mortuary, and George Romero had both Diary of the Dead and Survival of the Dead. Wes Craven has a few movies I don't really care for, like Curse from 2005, but I just watched My Soul to take his second to last film from 2010, and it is by far the worst of his work. It actually starts off pretty decent, telling the story of schizophrenic killer Abel Plenkov, which was fast-paced, pretty bloody, pretty fun for the first 10 minutes or so. And the story goes something like 7 kids were born on the day that Plenkov died, and supernaturally are imbued with the traits of each one of his personalities. Every year, these kids get together to perform a ritual of killing a puppet representing Plenkov to prevent his return. Yeah. Once the kids turn 16 years old, murders around town start happening again, and the targets seem to be the kids themselves. Now, I really don't care for any of the characters here. I don't find any of them at all interesting. I don't care for most movies when the main characters are teenagers, but many movies have pulled it off, in my opinion. I also don't think the storyline here is incredibly interesting or unique, but with different characters, I think it could have actually worked. But even then, it's just too derivative of Scream and Nightmare on Elm Street. I found the supernatural elements also just completely uninteresting. The movie looks decent, but the dialogue was just awful, and it's probably fair to say that Craven just seemed uninspired here. Like I said, it was one of his final films after all. It looks like I'm not the only one who disliked this movie, since it only made back $21 million of its $25 million budget, so pretty huge loss. Yikes. Sorry, Wes. I'm glad you were still allowed to make Scream 4 just a year later. This movie sucks, but my utmost respect for Wes Craven is still very much intact. I like most of his movies, even the bad Nightmare on Elm Street films are super fun in my book. Wes, we love you and you are missed. Now go watch your favorite Wes Craven movie in honor of the man himself. That said, I'm going to go ahead and give this a 3 out of 10.